Commercial Bill Flamethrower. Bossman in the BAM. WBOSS Bossman Radio.
Live from Studio C, two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now. Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning, and welcome to Drive Time, brought to you by Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet. Good morning, Jennifer Parker, Mary Blair, Hot Rod, Mitch Redash, good morning to you. Tracy Miller, good morning. Retro, good morning, Rhett. Tracy Steele, good Monday morning to you also. Kay Luttrell, good morning. Had a great weekend. Hope yours was as well. Butch, good morning. Wendy Willis, good morning. Martha Shark, good morning. Renee Johnson, good morning. And Trevor Youngblood, T. Youngblood in the house, good morning. Good morning, Kenwood.
Good morning, DJ. Sorry we were a little late, but we having some AC problems up in Studio C here, and you can tell that two big boys don't like to be warm if we don't have to.
If we don't have to. But
we got the backup unit going.
We all grew up with one of those.
Yes, we did.
I love to hear it purr. They fall asleep up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you let that thing go on long enough, we like to be fell out on this table.
It could happen.
Anyway, number 75.
That's crazy.
Can you believe that we're sitting here 70? And that's not counting the night episodes and all this. I mean, just morning shows. Can you believe we've done 75 of these?
Time flies when you're having fun.
It sure has flown by. Good morning, Jerry Wilson, Elisa Hart, Gail Kurtz, Tara Tanner. Good morning, everybody. I tell you what, good crowd in this morning, and sorry we're just running a little late, but we had to get something going on this AC.
He's going to kill me for saying this. Friday night, Lindsay and I went to David's Catfish to have a little dinner. Jerry Wilson was in there with his family. And several years ago, I wouldn't even call it a confrontation, but Jerry and I had a little disagreement at one of the rec fields.
No.
It wasn't major. It was nothing to it. I actually, to be honest with you, had kind of somewhat forgotten about it. He came up, when he finished his meal Friday night with his family, he came up and shook my hand and apologized for his part in it. And I did as well. And I thought it was first class. He didn't have to do it. It had not affected, our relationship moving forward. He's been a supporter of this program since we've started. And I don't know. I just thought that was first class on his part.
Jerry's a class act.
He extended his hand.
He is.
And he said for his part in it, he was apologetic. I did the same. And I don't know. I just think that was kind of a testament to the way we do things around here.
Hey, I've known Jerry Wilson for a long number of years. And that's not surprising to me at all. Jerry Wilson's a class act, great guy, great friend.
It was a great way to start the weekend. I'll put it like that. I don't know. He didn't have to do it. We weren't going to be any worse off had he not, but it was a first-class gesture on his part. I'll tell you that.
I guarantee you. Good morning, Lori Woodard. Butcher, if hump day is supposedly the best day of your life, it's Monday the worst.
Yeah, I see where he's going. I've always loved Mondays. I love getting a new week started. I've always loved it.
Tuesdays,
not so much.
I'm one of these people that I guess I've been in the same business for so long that every day kind of runs together on me.
Groundhog Day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's 6 a.m. again.
Yeah. So, but now don't get me wrong. I like Fridays, people saying,
sure.
People that you work with tend to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more, easy to deal with, I guess because they know that they're about to be off. So, Ray Stewart, good morning to you. OG, Sherry Weaver, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sherry.
Nick Green in this morning. Jason Cox, Chef Ann. Good morning, Chevy Ann. I've never loved Mondays.
Well, when you stay out all night on Saturday night, and that old head goes to hurting on Sunday, Mondays can be a little tough.
I was about to say, from what I saw, a few posts I saw, looks like that Mondays is probably not going to be real good to you when you're having those those types of week. Listen, I don't know if you know this, but the older you get, the harder it is to recuperate.
Yeah, you got that right.
So you better get ready.
It's not hours, it's days.
That's right. Good morning, Jesse J. Steve Layton. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Jesse.
Steve had looked like a pool full of little brown, he called them otters.
He had a couple of videos. I watched both of them, yeah.
I saw that.
Introduced them to water.
I hope my wife didn't see it. But I thought that was a great video. I did. Good morning, Chef Adam. How about that video, Chef Adam, yesterday in the
at the church? That was at the
I was trying to think of the name of it.
I think that was the Methodist Church Conference. They had a special group up there performing the music. Yeah, that was that was outstanding.
It was awesome. Look at there. Everyone knows she stayed in and watched movies all day. Okay.
Did you see Timmy Wiggins' post up a little earlier?
I did not. I must have missed it.
He was at the Bluegill.
Oh, okay.
And guess who he was watching?
Who?
The Velcro Pygmies.
Wow. Over the weekend.
You know, I've noticed, it comes in on my feed anyway, the VP TV, Velcro Pygmies TV. I saw some of their live performances over the weekend, and of course, every time I see them, it gets me amped up about what we have coming here on the 30th.
There's
the Dash Bash.
There's Father Ted in this morning.
Daddy.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Tammy Wilson. Pam Driscoll. Good morning, Pam. The Beehive. Yeah, I tell you what. I watch some of that stuff. The what they call it, Pig TV or VP TV.
Yeah.
I watch some of that stuff, and that's always. I'm like you. When I see them, I get a little amped up about what's going on and what's happening and what's about to happen. And look, I'm looking forward to the bass player and his wife doing the acoustic thing.
I saw some of they showed them.
Did you?
As part of, I got to watch it.
Was it good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
The
really
stuff,
good.
The few videos clips I saw on YouTube of it was great.
Yeah.
I enjoy that kind of stuff, so.
Good point, Maddox.
Well, yeah, I can see that. Good morning, Kathy Mack.
Morning, Kathy.
Joey Salter. Good morning to you, Joey. No, Steve, you and Jessica do not need to talk at all.
Here we go.
No, sir. But I promise you one thing: those are beautiful, cute little otters. But they can stay on that video. Okay.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
Is the door locked?
I'll tell you what. Let me tell you what I'm working on, though. We'll tell you this. Hopefully by midweek, into the week, we got Crackhead Cam back in place.
Okay.
And we've got the Eye in the Sky back in place. Hopefully.
Great.
Now that's a big H in front of that. So we're gonna just put it like that and leave it like that. But I'm telling y'all, we can make a show just out of some of the characters that walk by here.
No question about that.
Am I lying?
No.
Speaking of characters, and look at Hazel. He done popped in on any crackheads this morning. Not yet, Hayes.
Still early.
But speaking of characters, how about that video from Destin, Florida this weekend? Beautiful scenery. I mean, just a beautiful scene starting out.
I'm going to tell you.
The blue waters of the Gulf.
The content speaks for itself. I mean, it's just, it's classic. It's just an absolute classic. It's a must keep. It's a must. I mean, it was classic. But the camera work by Miss Glenda was equally amazing.
Was off the chain.
It was just, I don't know how much time she has behind the camera. If that was her first effort.
Maybe that's right.
That was not an amateur video.
She may have handed that down or something. Maybe we've just discovered where I picked up this thing, affinity for video from.
There was nothing amateur about that video. It was just perfect. The way she panned into it, it was perfect. It made my day.
Good morning, Rob. Rob Moy, Alicia Neer, good morning. I'm going to tell you something. You can tell all these stories about people all you want to, okay? And people believe it and not believe. They choose to believe or not to believe whatever they want, right? I mean, there's not. Yeah, that's just the way it is. But yeah, and that's a fact too. Hey, somebody every Christmas is going to get him a roll of duct tape. No joke. That's one of his favorite. Like, you just give him when we were growing up, it would be the equivalent of getting a BMX bicycle or something to that effect handed to you, because he's not going to spring for duct tape himself. Okay. But you can say this, that camera work never shook.
It was just,
I mean, it was like it was on the tripod.
The pace of it was just perfect.
Come on around.
I mean, wasn't sure where she was going with it. The pace was
I didn't know
perfect.
either. And when I got it sent to me, I was like, oh, this is too good. I mean, this just proves what I've been telling everybody is the truth. And you said it best when I talked to you. You said you could go from Destin to Key West and you won't find another scene like that on there.
There's not a chance. Wingtips and blue jeans.
Have a great day, Jason Cox.
Not a chance.
I mean, yeah, you are not going to find that scene. Butcher, what about that white shirt with the 4 bottom buttons undone and the family pic with Towns? Well, I'm just surprised. Listen, what you don't understand, Butch, is that he almost had a heart attack when that man looked up and told him it was $10 a piece to get into that thing.
He started counting heads.
And it's about 6 or 8 of us standing there. And he's sitting there. I said, hey, this is exactly what he did. He rubbed old forehead. He looked at Mom, and he nodded his head. She pulled that money out, paid that man, and he looked down there. He said, hey, that does mean we can get back in here all day, don't it?
Oh my goodness!
I'm telling you, man. So, but to answer your question, Butch, no, he hadn't. I've not spoke with him yet since posting that. So I'm sure that he'll have a few choice words about it. But if you notice in that pic, he was standing, like Jess just pointed out, about a few feet away from all of us. Not sure what was going on there, other than the fact that maybe he thought that picture was going to cost some money too. Maybe he thought Whitney or somebody had to pay the woman to take it for us, which I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you the best part of that whole deal. Okay, of course he had the wingtips on on the beach. Of course he had blue jeans on, dungarees, as Burnham pointed out. Okay, of course he was checking that E-Trade account. Okay, but I don't know but Whitney pointed it out. I don't know if you noticed, he won't buy reading glasses because he's too cheap to buy reading glasses. So you know what he does? He'll get his phone up with his hand. He'll take this hand and do like this and look down through it where he can.
Is that serve a purpose?
Well, he thinks it magnifies what he's looking at. and listen. Hey, listen, he's been playing the circle game for so long. I started to take that to him up there one night. I said, look, you want to put this on instead of the glasses?
I can't see where it's
does it do anything for you?
Not for me, but
hey, maybe it does for him. Okay. I don't know. But he's, he's back there. He's back there looking at that E-Trade account on that phone. And what he don't realize is that chair and umbrella that he's sitting under was $110 rented for the day. Okay. And there was 2 of them rented. And I'm not sure that there wasn't 4 or 5 more rented that what he paid for that he don't know about, because, Josh and of course, Jamie and Lily and Emil. So I'm not exactly sure how much actually went on that, but I will tell you this. Let's see, it's the 1st of the month, right? So somewhere about mid-June, end of June, when that credit card bill comes in, we'll know just how, we'll find out how much rental he paid.
You're gonna eat every bite.
And listen,
winning.
Hey, listen, I can't tell you how much that video just proved what I've been. Think about it. Now, you can hear stories, but when you saw that,
man,
that changed your way of thinking, did it not?
It did. It was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. I mean,
listen, all he needed was to be dragging one of them old school igloo ice chests. You remember those green ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he had one of those for about 25 years that was so beat up and banged up because he'd put tools in it. When he got ready to go somewhere to the beach, he'd take all the tools out. He'd put ice and stuff in it, put drinks in it. Now, that'd be the only thing better was if he'd have drugged that green ice chest out there on the beach with him.
Man, that was something to see.
But hey, yeah, listen, you were correct when you said I believe you could have went from there.
I think you could have made the corner.
I was going to say you could have went up to the East Coast.
You could have got to Jersey Beach and probably seen somebody in some.
Maybe. Yeah. Even the snowbirds come down to wear shorts. On
the Gulf Coast, you're not going to see it.
No.
You could have gone back towards Texas or back towards the Keys and you wouldn't have seen it again.
No. That was a once in a lifetime chance to put out what people have known and we've talked about for years, and that just proved it. I mean, let me ask you this. How can you enjoy sitting there watching and being in front of that? Good morning, Tammy Reeves. How can you enjoy sitting there in blue jeans, wingtips, a button-up shirt,
no socks,
no laces, okay? And how you enjoying sitting there when all you're doing is studying? Here it is.
I like it, though, a gamer. Going to be there with the family.
I don't mean that. I'm just saying, like, it's hot outside, man.
It was hot. It had to be hot.
But hey,
certainly hot here.
Yeah. All I can say is this. Jerry Wilson looked like a scene from the old Jaws movie.
Oh, goodness.
It really did. I'll tell you one other real quick story. Pat Williams, good morning to you. We pulled up one day on the boat, and on the water, gas is more expensive.
Sure it is.
So we pull up and, in no way, we were just topping.
Good morning, Randall.
We were just topping tanks off. Man, that's it. And we got up there, got through topping that thing off. A guy comes back out there and said, yeah, so give me 4 or 5 bags of ice, whatever it was. We need to ice some stuff down and that kind of thing. And he gets back out there with the ticket, and they always on a little clipboard, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he come back down there and say, hey, look, I said, I'm paying for the meal and the trip, all the boats, so you pay for the gas. And I turn around and hand it to Kenny.
Did he hand it back?
Here's what he said. He says, he looked at that thing. He looked over at me and he looked back at that thing. He said, I'll tell you what, his exact word, I'll tell you one damn thing. You take me back to the house. I'm telling you, listen, we got the whole family on the boat, right? He said, you take me back to the house. And and I'm just quoting. That's exactly what he said.
Oh no.
So anyway, and I done it on purpose, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but and it wasn't even that much money. I mean, but it was the fact that that's stuff that he just can't deal with. That's not a necessity in life. Okay, he can't deal with that kind of thing.
Run me on back.
Yeah, he said, hey, mortal words of Boone. He said, if y'all don't mind, just run me on by the house.
Run me on by the house.
And he was ready to turn around and drive 18 miles back from right there to be dropped off at the house.
That's good. That's just too funny.
Yeah. But now that like I said, that video will be, I know you have retro. Definitely will be I don't know if they made, well, I take it back. Most of his brothers and sisters are all just like that. But after that, I don't know they made any more. Okay. So, good morning, Sandra Neely. Debbie Hardy, good morning to you. Good morning, Naomi Lindsay. yeah, it that was good. And I tell you what, the best part about that was I knew that you were crying.
Oh man.
I told Jessica, and she'll tell you, I said, DJ's either got a headache or his stomach is hurting so bad right now that he can't hardly move. I said, I have no idea what he's doing.
I don't know if a video like that has a counter on it, but I can tell you I had 20 views back to back to back to back, just taking it all in. I said, you just don't get this, man. This doesn't happen.
No.
This doesn't happen.
I mean, that's one of those things where you just have to back up and realize that when something like that comes along, you better enjoy it.
And I'll tell you the first time, and of course, it was just 2 days ago, but I can remember it like it was 2 seconds ago. The video started off in the Gulf. I said, well, the surfs are pretty today. I had no idea, obviously, where she was going with it, and she just pans around and pans around. and there he is. There he is. The rest is history.
I mean,
God.
And my favorite quote from you was, is that Red Wings?
Well, I saw the sole. I was looking at the sole. And I said, man, is that a boot?
DJ said, he done broke out a pair of the new Red Wings and go down to Destiny.
Nothing but the best. I'm going to tell you something. If the Destin Chamber of Commerce had any sense, they would reach out to you guys in terms of advertisement and put that on their local programming. That is, I mean,
they ought to put that on the side that says the luckiest fishing village in the world.
I mean,
coming in, that picture right dead center of him kicked back on that lounge chair with them feet up, and
if this guy can enjoy the sandy beaches,
everybody can.
Everybody can.
Listen, this is the happy. You thought Disney World was happy?
Oh no!
This is the happiest place on earth right here. You know, this man not only come out to the beach, but he come out here in full regalia. Only thing that would have been better is if he'd have got up and cut those dungarees, as Burnham called it, cut them off. If they'd have been frayed up like some Daisy Dukes. But anyway, yeah, that was just a classic. It was. Yeah, I wish I'd have had a camera on you when we sent that to you.
I was doubled up, I can promise you.
Oh, I guarantee you. Good morning, Heather Feather. I'm telling you, we get to that ballpark. When he looked down there and seen it was $10 a head to get in that thing, and the first thing he asked, because he seen 12 and under was free, first thing he asked was, how old's Kinsley?
I'm going to tell you something. I won't say a word. I'll cover all my expenses. I just want a road trip with y'all one time. Just on a day trip, just on a full day. I want to hook up with y'all. I won't say a word. I just want to watch and just enjoy. I think that'd just be great.
When he walks in the house, you'll love this. I forgot about this till just now. When he walks in to the house in Navarre, he walks in with 2 Cokes, canned Cokes. Okay. Now, about 5 minutes later, he comes over to me and says, hey, I swapped out 2 hot canned Cokes with 2 cold ones in your refrigerator in there. I said, what? You swapped out? For what? Why didn't you just go in there and get 2 cold Cokes? He said, no, I put 2 in there. I'm telling you, that's exactly what he. And listen, for everybody that thinks that this is all made up, I'm telling you, this is all fact. I mean, this is exactly what happened.
I just want to go one time. One time.
I'm telling you, I believe if we could take and put GoPros up where he didn't know they were on him, I'm telling you right now, we could probably make some money off of it.
Oh, man.
Really?
Man.
You know?
God.
Butch, I'm just telling what he come in with now. I ain't talking about Coker Peds. I'm saying that's what he had in his hand. You know? He said goes in there swapped. I don't know what he swapped it out for. I'm just telling you, put 2 of them in the refrigerator. Okay? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Wasn't a lot of soft drinks in there. It was water and adult beverages. So I don't know what he swapped it for, but that was his way of telling me that he he had put back what he had taken. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked in your mom's house or dad's house and with two drinks that happen to be warm and said, "Hey, look here, I'm
No.
I'm gonna swap with you because I need two cold ones."
No.
That don't hit the normal person's mind, does it? I mean, it doesn't hit mine. You know what I mean? I would have never thought about that. I mean, I just wouldn't. I just tell you, I would have never thought about that. And I'll tell you somebody else who, look at Raj. Is it an infestation of horse? I tell you what, they have been bad.
Yeah,
they've been bad up there around my house too. I'll tell you another one that Whitney just mentioned it. Brent Boyd loves, like, he gives it to him. Like, what I mean is he'll take these things that he does and he just like bam, but just he lays it lays it to him with them, you know.
You better be careful. And
I what's funny to me about that is that, you know, Brent, I will never forget, you know, when I've told this story many times. My brother, first time he ever met Brent, you know, he sits down next to Brent, looks over at him, he said, "So what's your story?"
Oh, not much. First team all SEC.
So Brett starts telling him all this, right? Well, Josh, he don't believe a word of it, right?
Yeah.
So Josh leaves. That was like over Christmas or something. Maybe Thanksgiving. I don't remember. One of the two. So Josh leaves. He calls me the next week. He says, "Hey," he said, "You sitting down?" I said, "Well, I'm not really, but do I need to?" I said, he said, "Oh, no, it ain't that bad." He said, "Yeah," he said, "Whitney's man's for real." And I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Oh, yeah. He said, "He sure is." And I said, "Well, okay." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Next time he starts talking about baseball, me and you just need to get up and leave the conversation." I said, "Well, okay, that's good." And so when I met Brent after that,
yeah,
and I said, "I'm probably not as hard to get introduced to as, you know, Josh is, because Josh is one of the people that, you know, he's real analytical about things." And Brent said, "Yeah," said, "I've kind of figured he didn't believe much about what I was, you know, telling him there." And I said, "Well, you know, hey, look, that is kind of hard to believe." But anyway, good. Had a good weekend there. I tell you what, it was hot.
Yes, this weekend was especially hot.
It was
I think
hot.
everywhere, obviously in the area, it was hot.
It was hot. Got to see Cole. Macmillan down there, and of course Melissa and Rigby was on the field. I didn't get to talk to him, but did get to see him. I
like Townsend's swing. You put up one of those videos. He takes a good hack at it.
He does. I'll tell you what, though, the Lord knew what he was doing when he blessed me with a little girl instead of a little boy, because I would have went to jail. Some of the things that was going on down there, and I'm not talking about like just like bad call. I don't mean stuff like that. I'm talking about some of the things. Man, this team that Townsend and them were playing, this is no joke, man. They had these Bluetooth speakers set up over there, and they had somebody pre-record all these kids' names, and when the kids coming up to bat, guess what they're doing? They got a come out song, and they're telling the name.
So they're playing music.
Up next, it's number 7, Townsend Boyd. Now, it wasn't Townsend's team, it was another. Right. But that's what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
I looked over at Jessica. I said, "They better be glad I ain't got a kid playing down here, because I'd have a dang trailer set up out there in the left field with about 16, 15-inch Black Widow speakers on top of it, and they'd know what some sound was."
Oh, yeah.
They serious with that stuff,
real
man.
Serious.
Hey, they are. And here's what got me. Now, you may know more about this than I do. Brent was explaining it to me, and I never could grasp the concept. These kids, Townsend and them are 7 years old, okay? And all 7U, that's it. But they're playing against kids who are 8 and 9-year-olds. But Townsend and them's team could only be 7-year-old. I didn't get, and they had to play this to be able to qualify for the World Series or whatever. And man, I'm telling you, this team they were playing, they were up there just, I mean, cracking the ball. I mean, cracking, killing. But I don't know. Something to do with the rules. There's a USSA or GSSA or something.
I don't know if they're playing U-Trip, USSSA, or what they're playing, but it's usually broken as age specific, like it's 7U, 8U.
Right.
And you can play. You could play in a 10U tournament, and all your guys be 7.
That's right. But you can't go down.
Yeah.
But you go.
Yeah.
But supposedly the age group, the age limit there is like 20 months.
Yeah.
On a birthday.
Right.
And I was like, good gracious. So, good morning, Reed. Happy Monday. That's right.
Yeah, Booker knows the drill. They were playing up.
Yeah. Well, I'm tell you this. I mean, them boys, they were playing. They were for real. I mean, I'm not going to joke with you now. I mean, they were just, I'd have hated to have been that coach that was having to pitch that ball. Yeah. He about got drilled.
Yeah.
I mean, two or three times. Good morning, Lisa Weaver. Yeah, there's Booker and Whitney both. USSSA. Yeah, okay. Good morning, Sarge.
Good morning, Sarge.
But those kids were twice the size of Townsend and them's team. Well, I say twice. I mean, they were definitely bigger.
Did either fan base ever get unruly during the contest?
No, not at all. It wasn't. It was a lot. Now, I can tell you this. Had I watched much more of that, I probably would have.
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't tell you right now. I probably wouldn't have been. No, I don't disagree. It doesn't make you better. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is like when a game's over in 3.
Yeah.
Because you've been 14-0. I mean, I don't know how much better that actually makes you. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying it doesn't make you better. I'm just saying, it was just a. Well, Townsend and were also playing. 3/4 of the team he was playing with was kids that had never played together before because they all had to come together and play on this 7U team, and they practiced for about 3 or 4 days, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, they lost. No, I don't mean that. I'm just saying, them people take that stuff serious.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, man. It's big business is what it is.
Hey.
I mean, how many teams were down with the complex y'all were at?
Look, there's no telling.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this. You just hit the nail on the head right there. I wanted to talk to the man what was running the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was the one that was putting the money in the pocket. What does it cost to rent a complex like that?
Each of those teams pay probably $300, $400 a piece to play each team.
Sure.
And then you also get the concessions.
Sure.
And then everything else that goes along with and the gate and everything else that goes along with it.
What does it cost to rent a This was at the Preston Hood Athletic Complex, which is right across from Hampton Hyundai. That is how it is set up. You will go to a complex. If I'm the tournament director, I'll go to the complex and I'll say, we will get it worked out on what I'm renting your facility for. And of course he will say, okay, am I providing ground crew workers or are you going to do it? So the fee can vary depending on how much of it you want to bite off. Right. If you want to do all of it, you can get the fields for next to nothing. But if you want ground crews, which I would, which most of them probably do. Yeah. And things like that. And of course the tournament director also is in charge of paying umpires. So you kind of set up those contracts as well. And those guys usually get, I don't know, they probably get $80 to $100 a game. Well, Kelly said Robbie had 11 games this weekend in Destin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
he made good money.
Yeah. And Rebecca's saying 300 per team.
Yeah.
Coy got 22 umpires for the weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ron Kennedy says, depending on the complex, 25. Hey, 2,500 is nothing compared.
I mean, when you talk about what you're fixing to gross.
Oh, there's nothing.
And this will go on.
And this was a nice facility.
Like my daughter's going to play in one, like here locally. We don't play Little League. Our designation is not Little League or Cal Ripken on the softball side. We are USSSA.
Okay.
And we are that because if you want to play postseason play, that's what everybody else is playing. Now, we could play Cal Ripken,
right?
But there would be nobody to play in the district tournament. Right. There would be nobody to play in the state tournament. Right. Then all of a sudden, we're in the Southeastern Regionals. We haven't beaten anybody, and they're sending us up to North Carolina
to get our breaks beat off
to
of
the barbecue.
Yeah.
So we're playing U-Trip. Well, the World Series.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Or the state tournament is in 2 weeks. But to play in the state tournament, guess what we have to do? We have to play in a qualifier.
Okay.
This week.
That's right.
And that costs $300.
Yep.
So we're going to go down there, have tuna barbecue this weekend in Robertsdale, and then go back the very next weekend, the state tournament.
Now that's $300 for the team to enter.
For the team to enter.
So
that doesn't include, like you said, admission and parking.
No. So you're already paying for the kid, for your kid to play travel ball or this type of ball or what have you.
We call it rec ball here locally.
Okay.
So we played a rec league.
Okay.
That was only $25 for the season.
Sure.
So now we've gotten an all-star team. Now we're going to play the tournament.
Now, does that mean all the parents pony up the money to pay the $300 entry fee?
In this instance, the city is.
Okay.
Because the city pays that. That's part of the budget they have set aside for all-star expenses. This is our all-star tournament.
I got you.
It's just set up a little different on the softball side.
Yeah, I got you.
Boys are still playing Cal Ripken because there's so many communities still having Cal Ripken baseball. But it's all going away. It's all going to be travel.
Well, listen, when Brent told me that you can play year-round,
yeah,
he said if they want to play year-round, they can play year-round.
Yeah.
That was bro Townsend and them's qualifier this past weekend.
Yeah.
So all I can say is this: we got in the wrong line of work.
And I can tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen 2 years from now is they're going to say you have to play in 2 qualifier tournaments to be eligible for the state tournament.
Sure.
And then it's going to be 3.
Sure.
And they're just going to get all of it
because it's all about the money.
Oh yeah. They make a killing.
Yeah.
Soccer's the same way. Now it's not as big in this area. You can get over Mississippi and swim meets. I mean, my gosh. I mean, recreation in general. There are people in this country making a lot of money at it.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're doing it year round like that. I mean, Raj, like he says, concessions where the money's made.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you think about that. I mean, there's no doubt there's money being made there.
A pickle pop costs you 50 cents.
What's it cost to make?
How long does it take to pour some juice into a cup?
I was going to say a penny? 2 pennies?
Maybe.
I mean, you buy a jar of pickles that you're going to sell the pickles out of.
You think they sold any bottled water at the park you were at this weekend?
At least a couple thousand.
Some people police it more than others, but they will let you bring a team cooler in.
They let me. Now they did let me walk in with a drink, but they may have let. I did see some coolers, but it looked like some of the parents of the kids.
They're probably team coolers. Yeah. They won't let like you and this could have gotten Mr. Kenny fighting. They wouldn't have let Mr. Kenny roll in a cooler with his snacks and drinks. They
didn't have to worry about him going to the concession stand anyway. I'm telling you right now, he'd have sat there and parched to death before he'd have went over there. I'm telling you. But but I mean, hey, all I'm saying now, don't get me wrong. This was a first class deal, and it was a first class run thing, and it was a first class tournament.
And they play time limit. At 1 hour,
that's right.
It's drop dead. It's over.
They get
the field ready and play another one.
Those kids get 5 pitches to hit. Of course, I guess you strike out or what have you, that kind of thing. But Brent's sister. What is she? Is she a coach at Bama or Whitney, or what does she do up there? She plays soccer at Bama, or I think she's a coach or something up there. I don't know. Team coolers. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. Yeah. And listen, and because he was so hot, now I will tell you this, this facility actually had the covers like you see on these playgrounds, these big, like they got up here at the Old Country Club. What was that, Rainbow Dragon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those covers again.
Those tarps.
Yeah. Well, they had those up over several of the bleachers. And they, this guy come up behind us and said, "Hey, I'm fixing to put this tent, one of these old tents up. Y'all mind if I put this pole?" I said, "We don't mind one bit
at all.
Go ahead." So we lucked out on that pretty good. But hey, that's a racket, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a racket.
Did you notice if on the dugouts, if there was a big banner on the back of the dugouts with the team's picture, something like this? Except it had the team's picture. Did you notice that?
I did not notice it, but I'm not saying it wasn't there. I just didn't notice
Almost every team has one of these.
Okay.
And they put it across the back of the dugout they're in for that particular game. And what would it cost to have that made?
Oh, hey. Listen, man, I'm telling you right now, that team that they were playing, they were serious about it, man. When you got kids walking up there to the plate and they've got songs that's being played coming out, and they got their name being called, and there's not a PA system there. This is all being done on Bluetooth speakers. That was impressive to me.
Yeah.
Now, it was impressive because I was, I like that kind of thing, but I promise you, I didn't. I would have there'd be a full blown PA system out in left field out there.
Yeah.
I'd say, look here, y'all can put them little bitty speakers up. And every time y'all start playing your kid music coming out, I'm gonna blast you with some. I don't know. I'd probably get out there and do something just crazy just to really get everybody fired up. But now they may kick you out of one of them things pretty quick too. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I know. Brent said you got to watch. You got to watch some of the things that, especially with these kids and what they do and how they do it. And now some of the coaches, they seem to be. They seem like they'd be a little wiry.
They're intense.
Yeah. But
I tell you, my first experience with it, Stokes was 9, and we had our all-star baseball team getting ready to play in that time a Cal Ripken tournament. So our coaches, to get them, instead of having a practice game with somebody, we entered in one of these travel ball tournaments down in Gulf Shores. Booker, JoJo actually played on a travel ball team. We actually played their team in one of the 2 games that we got to play. Of course, I think we lost 23-1, but it was an eye-opening experience. But the point I'm trying to make is the field behind us was 6U. It was the little kids with the coach up there on the knee, throwing them in there to hit. And there was a team from Texas playing a team from Louisiana in Gulf Shores, and it was an elimination game, loser leave town. The Louisiana team beat the team from Texas. And the Louisiana coach, they were in the third base dugout. I'll never forget this. They had their boombox playing, and it was playing Back in Black, and You Shook Me All Night Long. And he had his kids looked up, and he said, look at them. Look at them. He made them look at the kids from Texas. He said, they're going home. They're going home today, and y'all sent them. Doesn't it feel good? Y'all sent them home. They're looking at it. 6-year-olds. They're looking around. It was insane. I mean, it was insane.
Hey, listen.
Y'all sent them home.
That coach of Townsend's, Jessica was just pointing out, he's Venezuelan, and he'd get fired up, and all of a sudden that Venezuelan accent and that he'd get to talking so fast, I didn't even know what he was saying.
He was probably cussing them.
Well, I don't know, but I know this. He was getting with it, whatever he was doing. So anyway, that was my week. How was your weekend? What'd you do in the Dirty 30 this weekend?
Well, the remnants of subtropical storm Alberto finally blew in Saturday night.
I heard it finally came through.
Not the power out in isolated areas. Yeah. There was several power outages. Yeah. Here in the Dirty 30, nothing for too long, 3-4 hours. Only
took 8 days later?
8 days later.
8 days.
I watched a lot of college baseball. Almost every game that was viewable, I got at least a piece of it, if not all of it, in its entirety, and I enjoyed that. Auburn Tigers won their region last night.
Yes, they did.
And fortunately, they'll get to go play Florida. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming Florida wins today, and I figure they probably will. But the SEC had 10 teams in the tournament, and I enjoyed watching all of them.
So you just kind of hung around the house, and I tell you, it was so hot. I mean, it was blazing.
I noticed my AC didn't kick off much.
Yeah, well,
the humidity in our area, I'm sure it's the same way down the coast. It would choke you out this weekend. It was tough.
It was bad.
Yeah,
I mean, that humidity was rough. And you just kind of felt like there was some rain coming at some point. So I know we talked about June 30th.
I agree, Stephanie.
What is that? I hate to see.
You can do both.
Oh yeah.
I've made this argument once before, and I'm going to make it again. There is a lot to playing with better players will make you better. There is a lot to that. That is undeniable. But there's also something to be said for playing with your friends. I mean, that's just a part of being a kid is playing with your friends, playing with the kids that you're going to play with in school ball as you get older. And I think the proof is in the pudding. Last year, JoJo Booker and Hunter Britton were both drafted by the Major League Baseball draft, which is today. It starts today, by the way, again. Both of them played rec ball. Never missed it. They might have missed a game here or there because they travel ball tournament, but they played it. Yeah. Tyler Joyner, first team All-American Conference Player of the Year, played rec ball.
Sure.
Andrew Williamson has signed with the University of Alabama, may very well get drafted here in the next couple of days, played rec ball. They played with their friends. Travel ball is generally on the weekends. rec balls during the week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays as best as possible. You actually try to keep Fridays open so for those kids that are traveling can get what they need to get.
Right.
But I certainly never want to see rec ball go away. I think there's a place for it. I think it serves a purpose, and I hope that the kids coming through now have done like the kids before them and continue to participate, because it'd be a shame.
Good morning, Brandy Jackson. Yeah, you know, I know you and I have talked about this, about the level of participation in just sports in general.
Yeah.
You know, and Brett and I talked about that over the weekend, about how it seems to year over year get, you know, less and less of these kids wanting to be involved.
It's alarming. And
a lot of it comes from how much work you got to do to get out there and compete. And you talked about that a lot. I mean, you don't just show up and put a jersey on and think that you're going to compete because you showed up and put a jersey on.
That's it.
There's a lot of practice and a lot of getting ready to do that. And, you know, of course, I'm not sure that a lot of, you know, to listen to you, of course, you've had close to 30 years of it, I think. What'd you start umpiring and all that stuff? You were what, 15, 16 years old? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, if you think about that, Brent was talking about over the weekend, you got kids today that, you know, they think sitting in front of that TV or in front of that phone and playing games and watching this and doing that, they'd rather do that than they would, you know, coming out there and getting after it, because of what it takes to get out there and do what it takes to win.
Sure.
You know, he was talking about some of the practices and things and some of the things that he's going to be changing, you know, with taking over his new post. And he said he was just amazed at the time that these kids practice was over every day.
He'll have to go in and change culture.
Oh, he said, yeah, that's right.
It'll be a culture change.
That's exactly, that's right.
And you see it here. You know, the last year that I was involved in Babe Ruth from the coaching side of it, when I knew that my time had run out, field availability has been an issue we've had here for years.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, you make the best of it. But
right.
Saturday is a day that you can practice. You know, there's no school activities going on, and a lot of other teams won't practice on Saturday. And I've always practiced on Saturdays. I've always practiced on Wednesday nights after church, because that's when you could get a field. And at a Saturday practice, when the night before everybody said they were coming, you know, I got in the head count. Okay, we'll have practice, you're coming. Everybody said they were coming. We had 4.
Wow.
Okay. You can't do a whole lot at the baseball practice with 4.
4 people. No.
And I'm sitting there thinking, and these weren't bad kids. I mean, you know, and we actually had a pretty good team. I'm like, man, I said, you know, they just, at some point in time, is it worth it to go out there? And it just, 4.
Well,
you can do pop fly drills for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you do?
But again, you know, that's something that's, and we get off on that tangent every day. That's taught at home. I mean, and think about it, that's the same thing we were talking about, you know, about kids walking around with these guns and doing this crazy stuff. All that's taught at home. You know,
too many people have gotten caught up also with the winning and the losing side of it. And to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, that's the least most important thing that has to do with any of it. It's about the process. It's about the journey. It's about just wanting to compete. I mean, get out there, toe the line, look the guy in the eye, and see how it shakes out. And I understand that failure is a part of it. But if you understand how we're classifying failure in this sense, it's losing a game. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just losing a game.
Listen, Jessica told the story of the week, and I'm not saying this to toot Stokes' horn, or because you're sitting here, but she told the story of the weekend of, was it 2 years ago at Gordo, how Stokes played, I think, 2 games with was it a thumb or
broken thumb?
Yeah,
on his throwing hand.
Played 2 games with a broke thumb.
He had no choice.
And you know what Brent said? Brent said that don't happen. He said, he said only you see that here and there, but it's you don't have a team full of those guys.
Yeah,
you know. So, man, I that was you know.
Well, I come from the school of Mike Sasser, and I remember Mike Sasser, Coach Sasser. He did this every year. At the start of the school year, every boy was called to the gym. Every boy in school. And he said, if you have gifts,
Well,
if you have,
I didn't bring it up that way, Book. I'm sorry.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
If you have talents and if you can help your school, it's your responsibility to play. It's not your choice. It's your responsibility if you can help. And that extends well beyond the athletic field. If it could be the science club, if you have a gift that helps promote your school, that helps your school be more successful. And that was the mindset that was ingrained in all of us.
Sure.
It didn't say, well, I don't like playing basketball. It doesn't matter. You're good enough to help. You're playing. You're playing for the brick and the mortar. You're not playing. This isn't about you. It's something bigger than you.
Right.
And I think we've kind of gotten away from that a little bit.
Well, I think so, because if you think about it, the parents of these kids now.
Good point, Ashley.
Yeah, great point. The parents of these kids now are the parents that started with the participation trophies.
That's right.
So, I mean, I'm not dogging, don't get me wrong, this is not me dogging anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, again, it's just one of these culture change things.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that part of it has changed as well. You know, so it's not like you got any big old head hunting, you know, linebackers out there anymore, or DBs that, you know, that are looking to kill somebody on, you know, every time they line up on the ball. Or you got somebody like JoJo Booker who, you know, he's going to walk out every time he walks on the field, he's going to compete.
I can promise you that's going to happen.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to happen.
You know, he's not going out there to go through the motions. He's going out there to get after it to the best he can.
Yeah.
He's going to give 180% every time. You know, now, whatever the outcome is the outcome, but it won't be because he didn't give the effort. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you just don't see a lot of it. Now, here's my thing. With as many kids as I saw this weekend involved in this travel ball, okay, I sat and asked myself, and I asked Brent this, you know, how much of that is parents pushing those kids out there to do that, and how much is it kids actually wanting to? Because, listen, for you to be there at a 6:30, 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning with all those teams doing all that stuff, and depending on if you win or lose, depending on how many games you got to play, all this kind of stuff, I'd say it's commitment from mom, dad, and the kid.
Does. Yeah, it
does it not?
It absolutely does.
So, you know, I mean, that's, you know, it's, I can tell you, and that's, you know, Stephanie said it, you know, Connie just said it too. It's got to be, if anything, it needs to be about the team.
It's got to be. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and not about the I's and the me's and the.
If nobody cares,
it needs to be about us. You know, I mean, you know, the all of us.
It has to be genuine. But if nobody cares, who gets the credit? I mean, you can move mountains, man.
That's a fact.
You can move mountains.
That is a fact. That is 100% fact. So, and you know what's funny about that is we say this all the time, but that's the great thing about this group. That's the great thing about our community. That's the great thing about the center of the universe.
Right here.
Is that there are a lot of people here that do great things and they don't want credit.
Do you see mountains in Bruton, Alabama?
No.
Because they've been moved.
They've been moved.
You won't see mountains here.
No, that's right. They don't want credit for it.
Mm-mm.
You know, and that's the kind of people that are the backbone of our communities. And that's why our communities are what they are, is because it's not about credit and titles and all this kind of stuff.
Selfless.
It's just about doing it.
Selfless.
Making it happen.
Selfless.
Yeah. I've watched that about 100 times, and I'm telling you, I said selfless. I mean, I don't care. Anybody say what they want to. I'm telling you, I know there's just. Now I know what I heard. I can't lie; it did sound like it.
Did you hear Laurel?
I heard selfless. But yeah, well, that's what I heard. Yeah. Yeah. So Jessica says I did. Hey, listen, I can't lie.
One big loop.
Yeah. Hey, man, you know, it's a Southern thing. I'm just going to blame it on that. We make words out of words that shouldn't be. I mean, think about when we had Charmin and Sarah Ann in here.
Yeah.
They were making 3-syllable words out of 1-syllable words.
Can we make a note to get the AC man?
Oh, we're going to. That phone call is going to be made as soon as this. Matter of fact, I ain't too sure that.
And call the weather while you're at.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a 10-second break for station identification.
Yeah, we forgot to do that, didn't we? We need to do that. Let's see. Let's here we go.
WBOSS Bossman Radio.
Okay, well, there was that.
I love it.
Another hot day on the horizon here in the dirty 30. Looks like, I don't know, I don't think it's supposed to rain, is it? But you know what? We're such great weather forecasters. Tomorrow we'll let you know whether it rained or not.
We will. We will make sure we break that. First thing.
First thing in the morning, we're going to tell you, well, it rained.
We'll let you know what it's going to do today, tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll tell you tomorrow what happened today.
Fair enough.
We're going to be what do they call that? It's not a forecaster. That's a
recapper.
That's a recapper or a hindsighter.
Either way.
Call us whatever. But when DJ had to break out the sweat towel over here, we got to go.
It's time to go.
Hit it.
Had a great Monday morning in with you guys. Appreciate y'all being a part of it. Hope y'all have a great week today. Hope you'll be with us again tomorrow. I want to thank Jim Peach Motors and Pete Chevrolet for making drive time possible each and every morning throughout the week. Y'all have a good one. We love y'all.
For good. Not even 15
You've been listening to Drive Time with DJ and KJ. Brought to you by Bossman Productions. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and WBOSS The Boss.
I told him you can have my cash, but first you know I got